Well, you won't get a lemon from Toyota of Orange.
Wrestling buddies want to be your buddy.
Drug-free's the way to be.
What do you think you're doing?
Well, Miss Musso, we were just doing a promo.
Welcome to Home Wrestling League.
I am Penny Dreadful, joined by Juno Gimmick Muted Radley and Crystal the Casual at the Unicorn Soundboard. And this is Home Wrestling League, and this is not the days of Jim Crockett Promotions no more. What used to happen is not going to happen anymore. Yeah. Sometimes, especially recently, okay, you'll get an underwhelming PLE from the Fed, but AEW pay-per-views never miss. Every single one is a barn burner. Maybe there might be one or two on there that aren't as good. Recently with that main event where it was Edge, Cope, whoever, and Moxley, and it should have been Tony and Mariah at the main event. Maybe that was a stinker, but overall, a 5-hour pay-per-view is okay from those guys because it's all going to be good. Every single match is going to be good. Even the ones that are too short, which we'll get into that because they don't have a lot of time to get into it. Awesome wrestling. I was surprised that they started with Jamie Hayter and Mercedes. I think it was pretty obvious to all of us that Mercedes and Tony is the money match, and that's where they were going to go.
Yeah.
But neither one of them really kept a consistent lead on each other for the whole match. It wasn't super clear who was going to get it. There were so many near falls.
It had near falls. It was aggressive.
Yes.
It was cool that they bookend the Owen Hart winners together. There was a couple botches, whatever, it's fine. The ending made me laugh because she got spiked on her head. And so this is another thing, and I know we're going out of order, but for a long time, or when she's come back, I'm like, what is Jamie Hayter's, what is she dressed like? I'm like, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's familiar. And then she came out in the gear that she came out, and I'm like, oh my God, she's Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's how she dressed.
I was going to say maybe she dressed like she just walked off the set of Almost Famous. But yeah, Daphne.
She's just Daphne from Scooby-Doo from the bad side of England. That's
Liverpool. Liverpool's where the poor ones are from, right?
Yeah, sure. They're all. I just imagine they all sweep chimneys out there, and then there's some kings and queens and shit.
Kings and queens in the chimney. Oh God, there was a lot of what I love in that match. A lot of real close, technical to the mat work. And they did a lot of big offensive moves. Jamie did that suplex off the top rope, and then she would have gone for another suplex, an offensive move followed by an offensive move like that. Is always so good. I was sad she didn't get to follow it all the way through, but it looked great. And after that, big statement hold, Jamie practically picked up Mercedes twice in a row. And people like to talk a lot of shit about Mercedes and this run of hers and Mercedes Hogan and she's always winning. But the people always look strong. They not are worse off for their losses. And that wasn't Mercedes got it on a roll up. It wasn't a clear, I got you. She got it on a roll up and booked it out of that ring. She barely escaped her.
Yeah, just like a heel would.
Right, just like a heel would.
And this is going to be, I think this is the first, because I didn't watch the pre-show stuff because for obvious reasons. But this in 4 or 5 straight matches, the heel wins. And so when I'm watching it, I'm like, what the fuck kind of night is this? But it gets saved later.
A night of good wrestling. I guess the next question here, obviously, is will it be Tony or Mercedes? And is this the first time they've had the AEW champion versus the TBS champ?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Well-
remember thinking when I first started watching when Britt was champ, AEW champ, and Jade was TBS champ. And they're both really, really talking up there, I'm the best, whatever, whatever. And I was like, okay, eventually, you put them in front of each other. Never happened, has never happened. They weren't clear about divisions so much, but they were clear about not, putting whomever was holding those two titles in front of each other. And it's like, they can't have seen where they would be down the line, to have Mercedes and Tony where they are, at the time they were both over in the E. It's so interesting that this is what we're getting, that this is going to be the money match. Either way, I think that Jay needs to challenge for that TBS title. And I hope it's Mercedes that's holding it.
Yeah.
I think she should drop that title eventually. If she wins the AEW championship, which is, it's man, we're gonna come back to this throughout our talk. Personally for me, if I don't hate either outcome, if you have like a good story to tell from either outcome, that's when where you're on like the right path, booking wise. When neither choice sucks immediately, that's when you're doing it right. Neither one sucks. I don't love either one winning, but I don't hate either one winning.
Yeah. It's good. It's good booking. Both of the characters are somewhat strong.
Tony's
and-
far and away the stronger of the two. And
and it'll be weird because I feel Toni Storm with this gig and like her part in Queen of the Ring. I'm pretty sure she could act in Hollywood, but I don't think they've casted her. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. I mean, Mercedes most likely is going to win, but it'll be interesting nonetheless. So that means who's going to beat Mercedes, and that's going to be the bigger deal.
Well, I mean, who else could? If not Tony.
It would just be Willow, to be honest.
You think so? Ooh.
Yeah, it would be Willow
Mm-hmm.
because the story is there. Willow broke her ankle, then she beat Willow, then she was there for a year.
Yeah.
Willow is there, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Willow is there for sure because if she signed that contract, oh my God, great match between those two. I still love Jamie. Either way, she looks good in that match, and I think she should get the TBS title eventually. All right, Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness versus FTR. FTR are heels now. I guess that's fine. Sure.
Yeah.
I guess it's more fun for me to make fun of their bodies when they're heels. I can be like, haha, you're chubby, you're out of shape. You look like you look like you work the evening shift at Home Depot or something like that. It's more fun to do it when they're heels.
Body shaming hits differently when you don't.
Body shaming hits differently when you don't like them. Move a goalpost. Easy way to get over as a heel is to just mess with a beloved non-wrestler. I'd never seen Nigel wrestle. No, he has a long history as a wrestler, but I'd never seen him do it before. I don't know, where he is like body-wise. If he came back full-time to wrestle, I wouldn't be mad. I really like to watch him. He was great.
Oh no, Nigel McGuinness is one of the better, like back in my DVD days. Like Nigel McGuinness was he was in the top 10 of the best wrestlers. And so when Daniel Bryan and Nigel McGuinness had to sign to WWE, Daniel Bryan physical came back fine, or he was still fucked up, but like it was better.
They were like, it's okay.
But Nigel
McGuinness, the bubble.
Nigel McGuinness, I forgot what he had, but like Nigel McGuinness was too fucked up and he had to retire from wrestling. But Nigel McGuinness is awesome. John Moxley used to do when he was Dean Ambrose in WWE. He used to do this move where he would get knocked back and then go through the rope and then hit a clothesline, and that was Nigel McGuinness's move. Like he took that from Nigel McGuinness and did it because Nigel I'm
bequeathing the move to you.
Yeah.
Is this the first time? Well, I know it's not the first time necessarily because he was at London All In. I remember that.
And then he fought Daniel Bryan.
Did he? That's right. Yeah. Okay. So he doesn't do it often, but when he does, it's for a good reason. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. This was a good, solid, fun tag match with the ref essentially ignoring like a bunch of DQ worthy stuff. They're just doing whatever in front of him. And he's like, whatever. That it's fine. It's cool. Always happy for Daniel Garcia. I know a lot of people don't like him because they maybe think he's boring. I love Daniel Garcia. I always will. I think he's fun in the ring. If they don't like his gig and his gimmick, that's fine. But I think it's effective. And he really goes for it. He's adorable.
Yeah, he's great.
I love it. Yeah.
Like his career kind of got derailed with the Jericho stuff, but like he's his foot.
And yet he came through it.
Yeah.
He's probably doing the best out of anyone in that group, with the exception of Sammy, who more recently came back. It's probably him and Sammy who are doing the best out of that group.
Yeah.
Well, no, who? How do you remember who else was in there?
No, it's Nigel. It's Nigel all the way. I'm sorry, not Nigel.
Nigel was in. Oh, I don't know.
Daniel all the way, but it's just like
yes.
But Sammy's just gotten relegated to ROH land, and he's not coming back out of there. It's like
ROHL.
Sometimes you just got to be very clear and just not be like, "Hey, this guy's gonna be the future of our company," and like, he's one of the 4 pillars of our company, and he is not.
Yeah,
like, that pillar is shaky as fuck.
Yeah, he's like 8, maybe.
It's like there's supposed to be 4 pillars, but 2 of them pillars ain't even there. Like that shit is shaky as shit.
Yeah. So basically just a spot for FTR to keep being heels, but it was in the run up to that little video package they showed. I appreciated it. I said thanks. Someone has not been watching regularly. Thank you for that. It did what it needed to do, and solid wrestling because all these people are solid wrestlers. Stretcher match with Mark Briscoe and Ricochet. Every time I gotta talk about Ricochet over here, I gotta eat my crow and be like, damn, I was wrong about what they would have him do and what he would be able to do in AEW. Man, what wonderful growth for Trevor. Love that Mark has gotten to enjoy a consistent singles career. That's excellent too. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely giving it's giving Mick Foley. Like when we got to the point where they had that boiler match and Mick, did that dive off the table, and it was like, yo, Mick will do anything. You get that from Mark Briscoe. Like you worry for the guy, but he's gonna do something crazy. And a Briscoe match is not a Briscoe match at all until someone has a crimson mask, usually him. So you expect it every time. You set the egg timer, but it still delivers in the shock value. You still I'm always still like looking for the moment, like, oh, is he bleeding? There it goes. You know what I mean? But it's still fun every single time.
It's just Mark Briscoe, like if you saw him on the street, you'd be like, that guy is either homeless or a professional wrestler.
Right. Like you give him a wide berth automatically. Like you might cross the street.
And something because I didn't watch 0 Hour, but
I didn't either. I know what happened.
They did the interview with Ricochet, and it's called a stretcher match. So he's talking about putting him in the ambulance, and then Ricochet is saying it like I don't know. I think there was like a TikTok or a Vine where somebody called it like the Ambulambs. So Ricochet is just like, I'm gonna place him in the Ambulambs.
He has become like, his gimmick is kind of like your annoying light-skinned uncle.
Yeah, he's a nerd. Like it's great.
Yes.
Like it's better than because initially he was supposed to be Andrew Tate, but now like he obviously had to switch it. I don't know if saw the news today, but somebody got charged with rape in the UK.
Where are they? Because I was reading that apparently they're back in Romania. I was like, when did they leave here? Doesn't they get to come back here? And then yes, did read the news. Hope that they're, hiding in a tent in the Romanian forest. I wish the best for you guys.
I hope I hope they're in jail.
Jail. Oh God. Congratulations to Ricochet for taking a world-class ass beating, but for still locking him up on that ambulance. And the moment he pulled the stretcher up the thing and stood on top of it and did this, I was like, okay, congratulations. You're not letting the theater die.
And shout out to him for hiding 2 pairs of scissors in 2 different locations.
Right. He's prepared. He's prepared.
Love it.
Oh God. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy, who we were talking about earlier, versus the Hurt Syndicate. Hurt Syndicate featuring Handsome Squidward. For me, it's always hard to root for Sammy since he's been like a documented dickhead outside of the ring. But he's a fantastic performer. I mean, that standing shooting star press is gorgeous. I mean, they were never going to win this match, obviously, because Hurt Syndicate is getting what they've been waiting for all this time. Love Shelton over there getting what he deserves. But fun match.
Yeah.
And never not going to root for Dustin Rhodes. It's Dustin Rhodes. Look, Gold Dust is still in the ring all these years later. Still delivering.
Still delivering good matches.
Still doing the damn thing. I'm a little mad that MJF is just relegated to being outside of the ring because he's so fucking good.
I mean, this was a storyline match where this is to
exactly
boost the Hurt Syndicate more less storyline than anything else.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're not watching like Sammy and Dustin are just there.
Yes, just there. ROH tag team champions. Still great.
ROH tag team champions, and then they're the 6-man tag champ. It's weird. It's dumb.
Who's the third guy?
I have no. I saw it the other day, and I did not put it in memory. It's hilarious that the Hurt Syndicate is just like, hey, we need a minority hire.
They need a DEI hire.
Yeah. And so they got a white Jewish man to be a part of their
just the
group.
opposite.
It's like we're ticking all the boxes.
I don't know where this is going toward though, because it seems like it's giving that MVP and MJF are kind of like Jay and Sammy when it was, Sammy featuring the Bloodline. Like he is closer to MJF than he is to Shelton and Bobby. So that's an interesting thing to watch kind of play out and wondering what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And I saw something somewhere where there was like, if they're not careful, they'll turn MJF into a baby face again. And I'm like, let's not talk about being careful with MJF. MJF can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. And
let him do it.
I just don't know where the storyline's going, but it's compelling enough because
it's fun to watch. It's compelling enough because it's MJF, man. He can do any fucking thing, and somehow makes it work.
Also, when I was watching it, I was watching it with Crystal, and I was singing the Hurt Syndicate theme, and she's like, "Wait, that's the song." We heard people. We heard
people.
We heard people.
One of the most over songs in wrestling right now. We heard people. We heard people. So fun. Speedball versus Okada. I have to say this because it's something that I stand by and I'm always going to stand by. I hate when wrestlers work barefoot. It's so nasty.
But what if they're
so funky? It reminds me of so Janet Jackson, when the All For You album was out, that choreography was barefoot. She said she hated it. She's like, it's so funky. Dancing with his shoes off, ew. Reminds me of that every time. I hate it. Love speedball. Hate any barefoot wrestling. It's weird.
Yeah. Well,
Because
if
it must be
you're
so gross out there.
if
Ugh.
you're a Pacific Islander, you know.
Exactly.
You can do it.
Oh, it's so nasty out there. Gross, gross, gross. But I love speedball. Speedball is like the Tommy Oliver of our dreams come true. Rest in peace, JDF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his kicks are so fast, and he also got Okada to wrestle faster. And
Right.
that's because Okada is essentially Randy Orton,
Now.
but with more gears. Like that's like
Ah,
Randy Orton is just constantly in first or second gear. Okada
Mm-hmm.
is in first or second gear. But when he gets into that third gear, and this match is in that third gear,
yeah.
and it's not like a long match, he looks incredible.
Oh, yeah. It was a great mix of styles. Like every time Speedball was coming at him like a sonic blur, Okada was ready with a midair knee.
Mm.
Like it was a really interesting matchup. I would watch them do it again and again because that was so fun, actually. And Okada's so young. He's only 37.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea. Because
Like-
they always talk about everyone from Japan like they've been wrestling since forever, which is, I guess, true because
Because
they always debut when they're teenagers, when they're children.
they wrestle a strong style. They wrestle strong style. So
Mm.
like a lot of their bodies are just like fucked up already.
Early, yeah,
So,
exactly.
Okada spending these past 2 years in America has
Mhm.
kind of slowed down the process of his body being fucked up.
Yeah,
So, and now he's more of a comedy character in a weird way. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you're like, that's right, you were one of the best wrestlers on the planet at one
Yeah.
time. So you have that in you.
How many more years do you think we'll get out of him?
Like 2 or 3. And then
That's it, you think?
yeah, and then if he and like it just depends. Like they could use him in spots. Like he's not gonna be broken down like Tanahashi. But
Yeah, we'll get it done.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like I feel like Okada's taking better care of himself.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looks much better. He's
Yeah.
in good shape. Yeah. Yeah. But still, he retains. I wonder who's going to take that off of him because it's been quite a while.
I think
I
it's
wouldn't have been mad if it would have been Speedball, but who's
I
gonna
think it's
do it?
leading up to them combining the Kenny belt and the him belt and then having a long match between them.
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah. Omega Okada again, yeah. Because I was confusing those two belts. I was confusing it with the one that Kenny's holding. The Orange Cassidy belt is what I think of it.
They have 9 belts.
Yeah. 9 for real?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They got World Heavyweight Championship, Women's World Heavyweight Championship. They got the TBS belt. They have the
TNT.
The TNT belt. They have those 2 belts we just talked about. They have the 6-man tag. They have the tag team championship. There's a lot of fucking belts.
Woo. Yeah,
And
they
that's
got to
not
do
even-
consolidating. Yeah.
And that's not even counting the Owen Hart belt that they
Oh,
get.
yeah, that's right.
And then also the ROH belts. There's too many belts in that company.
Yeah. They
They
got to
have-
get to work.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
condense.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what gets to happen if you condense? You get to have a tournament.
Exactly.
You'll have a tournament over there. All right. Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. I feel like this is the 3rd or 4th time that they wrestled, at least, probably, because
Yeah,
she
probably.
won a qualifier. Qualifiers are weird to have this match in the first place. And I remember at least one before. This is 3rd or 4th time. I'm so glad they signed Mina. She is funner than hell.
Yeah. I got to see
and-
her before
Yeah,
she
yeah.
really signed it
What
live.
did you like to watch in person?
She's fun. Like
Yeah.
the whole dance before she comes out, like
Mhm.
that gets everybody kind of pumped up. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, if you see somebody dance, you're like, oh, okay, all right. And then you're cool with whatever they do after the fact.
Yeah. Fun match out of the 2 of those.
So I have to tell you guys, I looked up the Tony versus Mina Shirakawa stuff, and the top 4 things, the top stories.
Oh, we'll get to it. I know what you're gonna say.
No, hold on, relax, okay? Wow, I'm not even being horny on Mania, and you're already giving me shit.
No, I'm not giving you.
Use you.
I'm not giving you shit. I just know what everybody was talking about in that. match.
No, of
Yeah.
course, this is what we all know. Literally, cage side seats, wrestling headlines, and another cage side seats article are the first things I see. And the thumbnail is them kissing, obviously.
Mhm.
The fourth one, Bleacher Report, has nothing to do with it. 3 out of 4, they kissed. The fourth one, Tony Storm beats her to retain the title, guys. Get serious. Get
serious,
real.
right?
Get your
Get your
lesbian.
head out of the
politics-
gutter.
Get your priorities straight. And I'm like,
lesbian
thank you,
politics
Bleacher
out
Report.
of
We
this fucking
appreciate
wrestling.
your serious reporting on this, but also they kissed.
I thought it was funnier that Mina kissed the knee that she just spent the whole work wrecking, the whole like match working. That's what I found funnier than the kiss in general. I think the kiss is a little cheap. Like I'm like, why are you doing this? I think kissing the knee was funnier.
Yeah,
That
like,
is funnier, yes.
that was her thing in Stardom. Like her and Mariah would kiss.
Oh
and,
yeah, hmm
like,
it's a thing she had to keep up.
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like
it's a
a
reception
little gimmick,
indicator.
if you will.
Tony the benevolent champ, I thought was fun. Like I'm so sorry I had to beat you, but I like you so much.
Her
Okay.
transatlantic accent is incredible. Like she is fucking selling that.
You know
I
what?
love it.
You know what? And it comes back to what you're saying about Tony maybe going into Hollywood. What they could do. What you do is take out what's it, Jennifer Jason Leigh in the Hudsucker Proxy.
Yeah.
Take her right out, pop her right in. No problem.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Jennifer Jason Leigh's an awesome actress. I mean, shit, she's
Yeah.
the reason why A Marriage Story is so memeable.
Wait, is that the one with no, that's not the one with Scarlett Johansson and Kylo Ren.
It is.
It is. She's in that too.
That's who he's writing about.
Oh, that's
His
right.
divorce with Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yes, white people like to write about their own stuff all the time.
Yeah.
hmm
But they don't really get into the fact that he co-wrote
The current movie with Greta Gerwig.
No, he co-wrote Madagascar 3 to pay for a lot of his legal fees in the
Madagascar.
exactly. And now he got nominated for fucking Barbie. It's a weird career.
Yeah. It's a numbers game. So Timeless Tony is already in history as a gimmick that was both completely committed to and flawlessly executed. I think it's up there already with Undertaker and Goldust.
Yeah.
In terms of how she went all the way in, and has continued to like get better at it. It's gotten both larger than life, and she can immediately just go into it like on a dime. Like does she talk like that all the time now?
I'm pretty sure she talks with her Australian accent.
Right?
But you know,
Shut up, that's out.
she's not going to turn into Madonna. You remember that 20
No.
years where Madonna was just like,
Yeah.
I'm British now.
Well, she married Guy Ritchie, so she had to, you know.
No, I saw Swept Away. That shit was terrible.
Well, you know, we can have another conversation about Madonna movies. Sure. But anyway, Timeless Tony has to retain because she's got to go on to face Mercedes.
Yeah, money.
Anarchy in the Arena. I don't know if there's ever been a bad Anarchy in the Arena.
The one in All Out one was it wasn't the best, but like last
Is it the first one then?
No, I think they had one before that in 2020, and then because it comes from the Stadium Stampede, and
Right, yeah.
the Anarchy in the Arena. But this one was just great. Like, just
So much happening.
wrestling is ridiculous. And like when people talk about it seriously, I'm like, I understand the serious aspects inside of it, but at the end of the day, it's pretend. So when this match happened, I'm just like, there's so much going on. Just the fact that the Young Bucks dress like they were founding fathers in the entire match.
Their best Hamilton cosplay.
Like
Good grief.
Swerve coming out as the Predator, Kenny coming out as Captain America, even though he's
Captain Omega, non-wrestling highlight of the evening. Like, what the fuck?
Like they're beating each other with garbage cans and shit. Fucking Powerhouse Hobbs looked awesome. He looked like I told you my theory. Like Powerhouse Hobbs is the closest thing to a human street shark that you can see. He's built like a street shark. He looks like a street shark. He's a fucking street shark. John Moxley and his group of white supremacists came out, and that was great.
Anytime Moxley touches a black man, it's a hate crime.
Yeah, like because his
It
character
feels like he's doing a racism.
Well, yeah, exactly. Fuck. Every time. And then they come out with that lynching truck. Because his character, he's dressed like that because of I think he saw Romper Stomper, which is about not Guy Pearce, but Russell Crowe being a white supremacist. And then they're just like,
so just Russell Crowe on his off day.
Yeah, like, well, he was thinner and balder, but like he's just a white supremacist. And then Moxley was just like, let's just dress like that. And people are like, don't say that it's from there and you can get away with it. And that's what happened.
If I saw John Moxley at a Home Depot, I would go in the other direction. For sure.
Yeah. Well, once he shaved all the hair off, like
yes. Yeah.
Like
Dean Ambrose is almost cuddly. Current John Moxley is a guy to avoid in public.
Yeah.
Sure. Having the music going on almost through the entirety of the match, where everyone's fighting, is kind of like having a party where everyone's fighting, which is essentially what Anarchy in the Arena is.
Yeah.
They know their audience for sure.
That's why, because it was the war, Civil War, Revolutionary War, like flute, and then they switched it to I'm So Excited, and then they switched it to Bodies by Disturbed. And
that's Drowning Pool, dude.
Oh, I don't know. Every time I think about Bodies, I always think about the cover to Disturbed. Don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know my early.
The Disturbed covered that song?
No, I'm that one album cover of Disturbed.
Oh yes, yeah.
And for some reason I always think that's
essentially at the time they're all kind of were mirror images of each other. Sure. Yes.
Yeah. But just the fact that Claudio did the swing into the one speaker and then it ended all the music. And I'm like, that's wrestling logic right there.
Right? Wrestling logic. My face fell on the floor when they brought that forklift out.
Yeah, and
he's on it like this, like.
And then Nana's doing the dance on it. I'm like, okay.
Like okay.
Willow has her earlobe attached to the pole because she had those big gauges.
Yes.
And so they put her. They put a lock on her lobe, and she couldn't get out. And the people are like, "Please free Willow."
Please don't move her. Oof! Don't do it. If there was, we have to know if Willow and Marina are the first women to participate in Anarchy in the Arena. If there is any woman that should have gone first, it's Willow Nightingale. Who for some reason puts on amazing hardcore matches. It's totally like antithetical to her gimmick and her happy-go-lucky thing, but when she's ready to come out with a garbage can, she delivers. That was absolutely perfect for her. And some real intergender wrestling spots here. I love some good intergender wrestling. Amazing. And it also worked really well because yes, she took that move from Moxley, but was back in there a couple minutes later. When they took a move from someone else, it didn't mean they were automatically out of it. They were coming back. Marina spit in Kenny's face. I don't know what it is with white women and spit. I say this a lot. Ew.
Yeah,
Um,
got it the pumpkin.
yes.
What is it with
Official
white women and spit?
white women spit. I don't know. Official best use of a staple gun in a match. I don't know how you, because Moxley caught a staple in the neck, and I was like, "Yo, you gotta be careful with that. You might catch a vein or a jugular." And so I wondered throughout the use of the staple and then all the spots that it was staples, exactly which ones were real, because if you get it in the wrong spot, that's gonna be bad. I just know they get a shot of lidocaine or something before they go out, because how? And
The adrenaline.
so is it,
Or yeah, the
it
adrenaline, I
has to
guess.
be
But
something. Well,
I think you're both right. I think they have to have something.
he took a staple in the tongue. Okay.
Mhm.
Ew.
And yeah. And when that all finished and Swerve did the stomp with his sneakers with actual tacks on them, and he got the pin, ended the match, and he turned to the camera, pulled out his tongue to show us that yes, indeed, he did have a staple in his tongue. And yes, indeed, he kept doing the match, because there was a good 5 to 10 minutes of more match after he caught the staple in the tongue. And I said to myself, these niggas are crazy. These honkies are crazy. Then I said, no, where does Smojo fit? Okay, these POCs are crazy. I said, these BIPOCs are crazy. Like, make yourself a Venn diagram of niggas, POCs, BIPOCs, and just pick people out of Ida Garden Arena and put them on there. All you people are crazy.
I mean, to be honest, there's one team that's clearly all white people,
Yeah.
white supremacists. I mean,
Honkies.
Wheeler Yuta,
Honkies are crazy. Okay, POC. You can keep more in the POC part.
but Wheeler Yuta is Asian, so like
Yes.
a lot of Asian people are just like, I'm white, and so like it was against the team of POCs and all that. And shout out to Willow for being the most. It's like it's the real Ripley thing, but Willow with opposite, because like her gimmick is not sexualized, but like Willow Nightingale is like completely straight, but you're just like you're gay coded, you are bisexual coded.
Sure. Oh yes. 100%. Yeah. But at least there's no career baiting with her.
Exactly.
That's the difference. That's the difference. Yeah.
It's not. She's no Natasha Leone.
That might have been the best Anarchy in the Arena so far. You know what? It was really great, but there is always going to be moments from other Anarchy in the Arenas that are going to hit, and there's going to be 2 or 3 moments from this one. Oh, some people who came out last minute. Hook, I guess, who's been out with some sort of injury, came out briefly. Mark Briscoe, Button.
Did he develop a personality with his time off, or is
No,
he?
no,
Okay,
same thing. Mark Briscoe wasn't done, so he came back out. Gabe Kidd came out, who were fresh, quote unquote. It was funny for them to say, yes, Gabe Kidd is fresh coming into the match, and they say Mark Briscoe's fresh. Mark Briscoe's not fresh. Come on, he was already covered in blood. But it was fun for them to come out and lock the rest of the guys in the ambulance for them to get the win.
Ambulambs.
Yes, Ambulambs. But I mean, a moment from Anarchy that's always gonna live forever, emblazoned in my mind, is Eddie Kingston covered in blood. Just staggering down
To try to set him on fire.
Yep, with gas in his hand. Like, that is one of the hardest images ever. So there's gonna be like this when you're writing the history of Anarchy in the Arena. That's gonna come out. There's gonna be moments in this one. For me right now, it's Eddie and a staple to the tongue. You niggas are crazy. So they did Adam calling them real dirty by having them follow that. Because how do you follow that? You could only ever follow that really with the main event. It was mean for them to do that. An absolute mistake. Paragon is a terrible name.
Yeah.
That's the name of a sportswear company. That's an overpriced water bottle. That is a brand of gluten-free chill mix. It's a bad name, which is a shame because all of these guys are excellent wrestlers.
they're all excellent wrestlers, but that was the spot to die. Like, what, obviously Vince McMahon is a horrendous piece of shit, but he knew sequencing. And
True. Yes.
And so like something like that would have like, he would put like a segment or something.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
to let everybody just,
Cool off a bit.
It's just like, hey, let's do this talking segment for like 15
Yeah.
minutes. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
go into the match instead of one right after the other. Like TK is a fan of wrestling, but like, if there's any one thing I would like you to take from Vince McMahon, it would be that, where have some non-wrestling things right after, so it just it just easily goes into what happens next.
Break it up a little bit, but don't break it up with a match with 6 excellent wrestlers who got to follow something like that.
I like real quick. I just like Takeshita. He basically had to come out and be like, "So I have a girlfriend. I can't."
Right. She's a wrestler too, right? I recognize that name.
Huh?
She's a wrestler too. I recognize that name.
I think so.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't be a hoe no more. So like, this is Andre 3000 in the beginning of the International Players Anthem.
Can't be a hoe no more.
Oh.
I thought that was sweet. I was like, oh, he's got a lady and they have a pet. Wonderful. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. They all hit their, good spots, and always really really happy for and impressed with Hoyle Fletcher, and how much he's grown and developed. That man, he's giving like Australian Randy Orton right now. He seems a lot bigger than he has any right to be.
It's like if you watch NXT, they have Miles Bourne, the deaf wrestler. He looks exactly like Randy Orton. Kyle Fletcher looks like Randy Orton, and it's that thing where two people is like 3 people are fighting and over the ledge, and you're like, shoot that one. No, I'm the real one. Shoot that one.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. They're all pointing at each other.
You just talk and see which one. The one with the accent is the one. He's Kyle. He's Coyle. Fun ending though. A little set for Forbidden Door where you bring out Tanahashi, who I mean, those legs are bowed, bro.
Yeah, I just like every time I walk, I'm like, you don't have any cartilage in those knees. What are you doing? Like every time you get up, it all pops.
Right? Oh boy. How old is Tanahashi?
He's mid-40s.
Oh God. It's that the wear is showing on him for sure. Yes. But they had to bring him out, quickly to, set up Forbidden Door because that's coming up soon. You're gonna have all, your Asian wrestlers come over and do their little thing. Forbidden Door is always fun. I've always loved it since the beginning. I feel like that's one of the most brilliant things that AEW has done, with the growth of their company. Forbidden Door is an excellent idea overall. Which brings us to the main event. Hangman Page and Will Ospreay. This is another one of those instances where I would like to be there. I would like to be in between those two.
It's the battle of who has the worst haircut.
William Ospreay, stop flat ironing your hair. It looks terrible. Okay, you look like Devin Sawa, circa 1998. Enough. No more. Stop.
Just needs to, like, he already got the sleeve tattoos. Just get a puka shell necklace. It's good.
Right? Oh God. Like it's pretty work. Fine, great, but oh Jesus, no, please stop.
Every time I see Will Ospreay wrestle, I think like he's about to stop a plane crash from happening and then be chased by death directly after it.
This is another one of those instances where the good booking thing comes in. Neither one sucks. There's a good story to tell with both of them. So I was very unclear as to what might happen. You pick the shiny new toy, who's obviously probably the best one in this company.
Yeah.
Top 3 in the world right now. There's something about Will Ospreay where every single time I watch him wrestle, I see him do something with his opponent that I've never seen before or can't even imagine have like done. And it usually comes out of nowhere. I wish there were more options for slow-mo because I have to like go back and like, yo, what happened there? What's happening? He's and people, I guess some people bitch about, they call it an anime style of wrestling. They think he goes too fast and he doesn't give things time to breathe. And of course, there were plenty of instances where he gave things time to breathe because he was doing like a whole thing. There were instances where they let the story kind of tell itself with the camera angles and everything. But
Like
holy
they
shit.
did the quick draw spot, the quick draw spot
Yeah.
where it's just like, okay, okay. And that was cool. They had the Maya Angelou poems at the beginning to show you like I'm the most important person. That's why I need to win. No, I'm the most important and I need to win.
I have the most important story here. I have more on the line.
And it's funny because I guess they were saying online that both of those guys didn't want to win the match. They wanted
Interesting.
they wanted the other guy to win the match.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like these guys, but obviously Hangman needed it more because like
Because what does he do if he doesn't?
that
Kind of like Jamie.
That and the CM Punk thing has kind of unraveled a lot in that company. And Hangman Hangman was the most innocent person in that entire like him and
Yes.
him and Colt Cabana are the two most innocent people in that entire rambling that CM Punk did. And now that Hangman wins, like, okay, we can get behind him. Now they might fuck it up and just have Moxley win for no reason and then wait for Darby's ass to get off that mountain.
That would be fucking horrible.
Yeah, like the story's boring. You can't keep this going.
No, absolutely not. It's either one would have been good to put in front of Moxley because you either put the shiny new toy in front of Moxley and he's clearly on his way to being a world champion. It's only a matter of time. Or you put Hangman Page in front of him, someone who's been there before and is doing this whole redemption tour bit and, finding himself again. And it's, I guess, basically putting a pillar in front of a pillar. Who do you get to beat, the big guy, the one who's been the pain in the ass in this horrible drawn out story for the longest time? Who is the guy to actually take it down? Oh my God, if they really intend to not do it and wait for Darby, it'd be the stupidest fucking thing.
Yeah. Like they should have done it with Swerve. Now
yes.
Now they could have done it. They should. Now they have to do it with Hangman, and then somehow they're gonna have Hangman and Swerve meet up later on and be like, you know what? You're not a bad white person. It's like, you know what? I don't hate black people the way I did you. And they're gonna walk off into the sunset, just patting each other's backs and shit.
Yeah. And you know what? If they had put it on Swerve, they could still run the Hangman thing back.
Yeah.
Like, oh God. Oh, what a terrible. This was an excellent match and a good outcome. Don't waste it. Okay? Don't waste it. They both have such a deep arsenal of moves to pull from. Like, oh my God, he did a Styles Clash from the apron to the floor. What? I was worried. A cutter and a hidden blade back to back, and he still kicks out. I'm not mad. You know the surprising thing, the really interesting thing about this match, and even about Jamie and Mercedes. It already happened. I knew who won, and I was still like, I was still into it. I was still surprised. I was like, oh my God, is that gonna be it? Oh my God, is that gonna be it? You know what I mean? Because I didn't know the exact moment when it was gonna happen. I'm looking at the thing like, how much show is there left? What's gonna be the moment? Oh my God, is that gonna be it? And they both had instances where they should have kicked out for sure. And I was like, oh, okay, that's it. No, that's it. They told such a great story, and they're so great individually as wrestlers. They were so great together. It's amazing what like either of them can bring out of like other like other performers. I think they're both really good at bringing out excellent matches out of other people, but they did it together,
Mm-hmm.
and it was beautiful.
Yep.
I don't know what Melcher's going to give it. I don't really super care what Melcher says about stuff, but I'm always interested to see people's perspectives, what they think of a particular thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another 5-star match. Just give Ospreay all the fucking stars. Forever.
Yeah. He's the most decorated 5-star wrestler in Meltzer's book.
Yeah.
So shout out to him, man.
Yeah. Completely. And oh my God, the moment at the end where he goes back to him and Ospreay's all like this, he said, which Ospreay had that moment with somebody else. I can't remember who. It might have been Kyle, but he had that exact same moment with someone else previously. Yeah. And he gets up and they shake hands, clap hands. And I'm a sucker for some good sportsmanship. Sportsmanship. I love it. And another thing, Ospreay still has a lot to do. Just because he lost this doesn't mean he loses. There were no losers this evening. No one lost. Everybody won.
Yeah.
Everybody collected a check and did great things.
Yeah, like if obviously if things were different in my life, I would definitely go to AEW show because that's the one I want to see. Like I've been to I mean, it's for me at this point now, it's a Royal Rumble. It was Money in the Bank, even though I know I'm not going to go to Money in the Bank next week. It was a Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and it was an AEW show. Mm-hmm. So, I still want to go because it's the more affordable option of the two, and you get more wrestling. Before we go, like the length of these shows sometimes are a little bit too much. You might have to two-night them. And I know they're going to run a direct competition with WWE for some dumbass reason.
They've never been those allegations.
Yeah.
That's just on purpose.
Oh, yeah. Like, it was on purpose in the 80s and it's on purpose now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I love WWE. It's just like, hey, we all out is one of our biggest shows for AEW. And then it's like, you want to see women finally wrestle an entire pay-per-view again? Watch it
even though we just cut like 8 of them.
Yeah, exactly. They don't matter. The ones that we have now matter. Okay, that's why we had that girl lose that one match, and now she's gonna be somewhere. And then in a couple months, when we do that again, we're gonna completely forget about that one girl that we beat. And then like we have the women. Okay,
it doesn't matter that we cut 8 of them up there. We have 20 of them at NXT. It's okay. We can use all.
Zoe Starks need disintegrated. We have another one.
We have another because Zoe Stark at home.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, Shawn Michaels. Like I said, Shawn Michaels looks in his his Instagram page and his for you shit, and it's just like, who has the plumpest rump of these college stars?
Mold into a wrestler.
It's like, what is your hip size? Anyway, you need to come to WWE so you can take as many.
We got a performance center in Florida.
We got a performance center that'll teach you how to wrestle. You can take as many thirst trap selfies as you want, and then you can hook up with anybody there because everyone hooks up there. But your knee is going to disintegrate, so you have to take it.
Just no OnlyFans. No OnlyFans.
Yeah, we're not.
You can only do the sexualizing that we assign.
We're a family company. Okay?
We're a family company.
Exactly. That's why you only use Instagram for thirst traps.
Yeah, it's wholesome sexualizing.
Wholesome sexualizing. Our sexualizing is like the moms at Disneyland with too much, tits out. That's the sort of sexualizing that we get.
It's like, hey, show your washboard abs in your bikini, and that's it. Don't be sending nudes to each other. And if you actually want to have sex with each other, just do it at the performance center. We don't care. This is a fucking orgy out here.
Well,
We
like
are
I said,
Sodom and Gomorrah.
it's like you know, the
Tampa is
Olympics. They got all those
Kids
people
Bop.
in.
Kids Bop, Sodom and Gomorrah.
They have all those people in good physical shape. Of course, they're gonna bang each other.
Yeah.
Well,
It's gonna happen.
in this instance, Orlando is Sodom.
Orlando. Yep. Where's Gomorrah? Tampa.
Check out Tampa.
Tampa. It's a Bermuda Triangle of terrible Bible towns.
Call back to our previous episode. Tampa sucks. Follow us on the social medias. At YouTube, you're at Home Wrestling League. On Twitter, where we still are sometimes, you're at _the HWL. On Instagram, at home_wrestling_league. You might also find me there accidentally complaining about NBA finals and the Knicks on there.
You have until Thursday to get all that off, and then once Thursday
to
happens,
continue to suffer. Yeah.
yeah.
And at Blue Sky, we are at the HWL. We have more coming up in the next couple of weeks because we gotta complain about Money in the Bank. I'm putting down my predictions now. The show's gonna suck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll always enjoy the wrestlers. I always gotta put that down. You guys all do great work in the ring. I'm gonna hate the result of that.
Oh yeah.
You pissed the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's okay. Because this isn't the day of Jim Crockett Promotions anymore. It's a brand new day. A brand new day.
Okay.